Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Oak Bridge Farm and the Saving Uncle Pete series here. We're on the second day of December. It's dark. It's not too cold. I mean, it's relatively decent at 12 degrees Celsius, but anyways, yeah, it's not the easiest morning here, and we've already got some work planned for us. So you would think I would have learned my lesson after the last episode ended in complete madness as I let my intrusive thoughts enter and grab too many contracts. We've definitely got in over our heads, got far from the essence of what I think this we want from this series, and unfortunately that led to just a real headache of a of a workflow or whatever. Like I was not fun anyway. So today we'll probably end up with one contract, and it's going to be for our buddy Walter, of course. It's the field that we were unable to get to in the last episode, the 50-acre cultivation contract. So just to maintain the relationship with old Walter, he was desperate. He really needed that thing done, and he had nobody else to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to get some fuel here quickly. So just in regards to the weight, it was recommended to me in comments on episode 5 episode 5 after doing the first sort of cultivate. What did we do? No, we planted grass, I think, right? Is that what we did? I can't remember. Anyways, there's a thought that the front wheels were spinning quite a bit on the tractor, and that was really holding us back. We weren't getting that extra traction, so we're going to try on this cultivation contract to weigh that front end down by basically stealing the weight from the Landini. So the reason why I'm starting in the dark here, normally we would sleep in and wait until it's light out, is just because we're trying to make sure that we get this job done in time. In real life, these big contracts take so much time. Oh man, come on, get through there. They're not fast by any means. In game time, we just sort of, get through it and make the edits the way we need, and we're good. But yeah, I'm in for it. I'm in for it in real life here as we get this worker going today. Morning, guys. They're probably wondering if I'm feeling okay because I'm leaving so early here. So anyways, the result of the previous episode, wow, we're having a hard time getting up this hill. It's off to a good start. So we're sitting with $154,000 in the bank after the cultivation contracts of the last episode, after I got to keep my eyes open for it. I'm jumping around here, but as soon as we pass this forest, I believe is when this massive 50-acre field starts. Oh, maybe it's here already? Well, probably. It's a Walter. If it's a Walter field, it starts... There's no gate. Yeah, there's Walter. That's 50 acres. Field 28, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. It's comically... It's ridiculously large. So the outcome of last episode has us sitting with $154,000. I'm definitely not against making money, but I feel like we sort of, by slowing the time down and trying to jam everything into that one episode, I don't know, it just didn't feel like the essence of what we wanted to accomplish in this series. So I do want to progress, but I didn't necessarily want to progress in an insanely quick manner like that. But anyway, so we're gonna put this money to good use. I'm not gonna, give it back. Actually, I just want to get through this gate. Really, is what I want to do. I might be making things worse for myself here. This is just not a good way to start the day. This is why I don't get up when it's dark. Nothing good comes of it. Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna put this money to good use. We are gonna pay down some loan. We're going to sweet talk our neighbor into hopefully selling us a piece of land, and there's some some equipment available that I think we might also want to look at. So that's going to put us in a decent position. This is a $70,000 contract. So while on one hand you might be thinking, wait, didn't you just say you don't want to advance this too quickly? On the other hand, I'm also I need to help Walter out. He can't find anybody to do this field. It's not. I mean, this is going to take some time. That's a substantial time commitment. But so we're going to be rewarded for it, and we are going into the winter, which we don't have a lot of opportunity to make money. We do have some money being made, which I'll talk about once we get this guy rolling. But that's kind of the thought process there. So. Okay, there we go. I imagine that is going to take a while. Godspeed, my friend. When it's daylight, we'll come back and check to see what this actually looks like. Let's make sure I'm not actually planting grass here. Okay, good. We'll lock them in there so nobody else can come and bug them, and then and we'll head back over. Let's cruise down the side of this field here. Is this one of Walter's fields? Yeah, of course this is one of Walter's fields. Man, this guy just has so much. A giant spinach field. So, I mentioned, yeah, we're still walking around in the dark here. So I mentioned that we're going to put that money to good use, right? So there's a couple fields that, I mean, so on one hand, Walter had always told me that if I was interested in this field here, he could potentially let it go. But he wants like 70 grand for it. And that just seems like a lot of money for us. This is a planted grass field, so it does have that going for it, in that you can fertilize it and, you know, do all the stuff that you want to do. It looks like it says it's ready to harvest, so that's not a bad thing. But 70 grand at 70 grand up there, there's another lot right next door that's 50 grand. So that $20,000 savings, I think, could allow us to make a purchase for sure, if not a couple purchases. The store has a little bit of inventory on the shelf right now that I think we can benefit from. So this is definitely not the most convenient field. It is built on a side hill here. It is convenient in that it's right adjacent to Pete's existing land, which is great. It's possible over the winter time we can get somebody in to take this wall out. We have to work with the council to hopefully find a new home for it, but I think we can maybe work with them to expand. It's I mean, these are ancient ancient walls, but I think for the interest of convenience, we might be able to convince Jack and council to work with us, especially if we're taking care of George and Doreen over there. You know, maybe Jack will hook us up. So I don't know exactly if that's possible. Now it would require some Giants editor work, I believe, is how you would rid yourself of fences on this map, which I'm willing to take a crack at. But you let me know what you think. Is that a reasonable thought that we try to take that fence out and connect these two fields? Or is that maybe pushing the lines too far? So in saying that, let's hop into the real estate site there and grab that field. All right, so we're right here, field 21, $52,000, and just like that, we have expanded Pete's empire. So he now has the initial starting lot, this field right here, and this field right here. So this is the wall that we would look at taking out, which would just make this whole thing that much easier for him. But that's not a deal breaker for us. We do have a gate up here which we can access this field, and there's grass on the field right now that we can mow. So in saying that, let's hop over to the store. I'd really like to purchase this. Actually, as I'm saying, I was about to say I'd really like to take this, purchase this bale wrapper. It's 50 grand though. That's a lot of money. And they're the small bales. And I don't think I can deactivate the wrapping feature unless there's just no wrap in it. But anyways, what I have my eyes on is less money. So it's down at the bottom here, where I have for 20 grand, substantial savings, this case baler that goes up to 150 centimeters. So I think that's probably going to be our best bet here. And I think we'll just keep everything standard. I don't think we necessarily need to upgrade anything. What are we getting charged for? Oh, we're getting charged for the net wrap. So now I remember there was a... Wait, let's look. There was a pallet of wrap on sale. That'd be getting really nitpicky, wouldn't it, if we bought the baler empty? Oh, square bale twine. Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. All right, so we now own that. One other thing I was thinking about was this. This is a planter that covers a number of different items, including, I believe we have soybeans, and then we have corn, sunflower. I don't know what that thing is. I'm not going to plant beets. I don't believe I'll be planting cotton or green beans. I think that's what that thing on the end is. But it does plant some stuff that I think we could potentially look at in the spring. My thought is that by the spring, if we can get ourselves over the winter, if there's deadwood contracts, that kind of stuff, if we can get enough cash put away, then if we can grab one more piece of land and then get into some arable crops, then that might expand Pete's opportunities, right? So it wouldn't be just... My hope is that we can... Actually, while I'm talking, let's just buy this. This is an investment in the future. In the spring, if it looks like our plans have changed, then likely we can still get our $17,000 out of this. Let's not look at all the nice tractors that are in there. Yeah, so, I mean, to earn money over the winter time, there's obviously not a lot of, farming activities available. But, you know what, let's rip over the store just while it's dark before we get to mowing. Let's go pick up the items at the store. And we can, talk more. But yeah, one of the things that we're going to be earning from over the winter, over the next little while anyways, because it doesn't look like it's very fast, is the sawmill. So we put all the deadwood into the sawmill, and it looks like currently we're earning about $1,000 per in-game hour. I have the items set to... I have it set to... Basically, I set everything to sell there, so it would kind of mimic... the store, the sawmill, or the whatever that is, sawmill, the carpentry or whatever. They're producing material and selling that material off, and then they're giving me a small commission on every item sold or every piece of material sold. So that's where I'm getting my my hourly income. So it's kind of the only way I could think to do. I didn't want to have to go up there. I didn't want to produce material and then go up and get it. I just thought maybe that was pushing things a little too far, but I did think that as a local supplier, maybe it made sense that if I brought them material. Oh, there must be somebody behind me. Yep. If I brought them material, then they could produce items and then pay me that way. It is incredibly dirty in here. I gotta clean this thing. Once the headlights hit me from behind there. It's really obvious how dirty the windshield is. My gosh. That's bad. All right, here we are. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. So man, what an episode. That last episode was crazy. So in all of the madness of the last episode, I forgot that this set of mowing utensils here, the front mower here and this rear mower came up for sale, and I wish I could tell you now how much that was. Holy crap! I totally forgot. What a crazy episode that was. It just burned me out hard. So these came up for sale. They were at least 60% off from what I could recall. Now, obviously, I can't run it with the Z-Door. Obviously, I can't run it with the Landini here. So we're gonna leave those here for the moment. I wonder if I should try to move them. No, if I try to move them, it's just going to tip me over. So we're going to leave those here for the moment, and then we'll be back for them with the New Holland. But the thought was that in the spring, when we see some of the larger mowing contracts, we'll send our bigger tractor out there, and that would be the tools that we use, not the little mower that we have. Oh, I got some seeds over here I almost forgot about. Might as well put them in this. I was just going to park this off to the side so that way these guys don't get pissed off that I got a mower and this planter, you know, in the way. So drop this. There's a little stash of stuff. Man, I can't believe I forgot about those things. Jeez. Not to mention, I didn't even mention the grass bales that, or I don't remember where the grass are hay now, to be honest with you, but I have them stashed in the shed. We'll go back and admire those in a second. So I don't have any rear lights on this baler, so I might want to just put the strobe on and hope people can see it. This is probably the kind of thing you want to transport during the day and not when it's dark. So this baler, like, probably what's going to happen here is I'm going to mow with the Landini. We can use the windrow with the Landini, and then once the New Holland frees up, then it can run the baler, and we'll make ourselves some nice, perhaps even some 150 centimeter round bales. Now we're sort of stockpiling all this baled grass, and I like, that's not the idea that we're gonna do that. I don't want to just stockpile grass because those sheep are never gonna eat it. But I would like to keep my eyes open for a bale wrapper, and if I was able to pick one up cheap enough, then we can start to wrap some of these bales, and we'll get into some silage. I think that would be a good little hustle there for Pete when he comes back. So if when he comes back he's got you know, the sheep doing their thing, he's got you know, the ability to wrap bales to make silage bales, and then if he's got oh my gosh, I think that's me. I don't think that's, there we go. If he's got like an arable field of some kind and a way to harvest and everything, then yeah, he'll be away to the races, and then he's, you know, perhaps he can expand his land from there and do his thing, you know. Should be good. He should be happy with that, hopefully. Then we can go on into the world and figure out what we want to do. Okay, so that is another piece of equipment here on the farm. So I did have a conversation with Walter about stashing some stuff at his kind of makeshift shed up there, and he said, yeah, no problem. He's happy to allow us to use the space. The only thing he's going to have to watch out for, though, is in the spring when the, you know, all the farming activities get rolling, that he might have to ask me to move some of the stuff because he likes to store some of his equipment up in that area, so it's easier access, which makes sense. But at least over the winter we wouldn't have our stuff kicking around, so I think we might take him up on that. Alright, so here's what we picked up. These were dirt cheap. I want to say that we paid less than, I think we paid, for these 8 bales, we paid less than what it would have cost us for 1 bale, I think is what it was. So it's kind of one of these moments where it's like, yeah, sure, let's take more grass. Look at all the grass we already have. Might as well, while we're here, maybe go run a bale over here. These guys don't need anything. Their water is good right now, and they have enough food, but I figured we'll just toss some stuff over here anyways. A keen eye would notice that we also have a full pallet of wool here, which we'll move into the shed for storage. It's about $1,100 worth as what the current going rate is for that, so that's not bad. I don't know when the best time to sell that is, but we'll find out. We don't need to shut that right now. We'll just leave it open. So yeah, timing's good actually. It looks like the sun should be coming up as we get into the field to mow there. It would be really awesome if by the end of the day we saw a bale wrapper pop up. I would add that to the fleet so we could start you know, fermenting some silage, but I guess that would just be dumb luck if that happened. So there's a gate up here that we're going to use to access our field, which is why it'd be nice to get that wall out of there, but it's all good. Yeah, that's good. All right, so definitely a bit of an awkward field in that we're on this side hill, but if I play it smart, we should be okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to fire up the bigger mower, but honestly, for this kind of stuff, it's not going to take us a ton of time to get through this, so there's no point in like waiting for the New Holland just to be able to come here and mow out our field. There's a scrubby little tree here we'll have to ask Jack about. I'm thinking he's not going to have an issue with this tree because we're kind of like, we're not really public facing here necessarily. So if the worry is, you know, trying to maintain some kind of a look to the street or whatever, then we should be fine. I got to really watch with the round bales that we don't launch them down the hill and into the creek. Yeah, we're going to really have to be careful with how we drop those. Ooh, it's wet down here. Should also be careful I don't drive into the creek. Wow, that was dicey. I would leave this tree in here just as a guide to make sure that I don't go lower than that tree. Yeah, so this hill should be a little bit slow. Not too bad. Landini gets us up there. I think if I can get one more sort of headland done, and then I can just start going back and forth across the hill instead of having to go up and down. Down's fine. Up's not good. So talking about that, the sawmill arrangement or the carpentry arrangement or whatever we got going on down there, we should probably check to see what we actually have in regards to wood in there. I noticed there's probably 5 or 6 more deadwood contracts available right now. So I mean, to me, I wonder if that's going to be like that all winter, and if it is, then, you know, maybe even in those months where we're not necessarily making any content, we're just sort of getting through them, so we can meet again in like March. You know, maybe what I got to do is just make sure that I'm doing those contracts, feeding the sawmill, so that way, once we get to spring and there's a bunch of like farming activities to do, then I don't have to really focus on any of the you know, quasi forestry type stuff. It's not really forestry, I guess. We're literally just doing contracts, but it's still forestry related because we're cutting down trees. I would call it forestry-ish. Alright, so now we've kind of gone back and forth a little bit, so it should make it easier to, or gone up and down a little bit, so it should make it easier for us to turn around at the ends here. Or not. All right, just stopping for a second so we can take a look. Yeah, so there's the sawmill right there. We have 19,000 liters of wood in there still, and it's processing that wood as it goes. We are selling material. Let's look and see if we can figure out how much we've sold. So my guess is the sold products line is where that's going. Now, I don't think we sold anything else that I can recall, so it's possible we've made about 20 grand already from the sale of materials there, which is pretty sweet. So again, like every hour, we should see that our money go up. Well, I mean, we just hit 10 o'clock, so whatever. If you happen to notice what the money was at before 10 o'clock, then we should be $1,000 more right now, which is great. I mean, I wouldn't mind receiving $1,000 an hour in real life. I could find a use for it. Let me tell you. All right, so let me plug along here. I want to get these done, and then we'll figure out the best way to put these in rows. Working hard to make sure the rows are very well organized is going to be important. The less we have to go up and down with the baler to collect, the better. Obviously, We don't want to accidentally release a bale so it just rolls right down the hill. So let's get through this, and then we'll figure that out. I hadn't really considered yet what the strategy is going to be, but we'll have to come up with it soon here. So as I'm cruising along here, I'm wondering, should I be considering planting my grass and not just relying on the map, or are these fields too inconvenient for something like that? And the fact that I would then need to look at fertilization, lime, rolling, all of that stuff, does it make sense? I wonder. I've got time because we wouldn't really need to worry about that until the spring because I can't plant anything. But yeah, I wonder if I should probably be planting the grass, right? I'm kind of taking the lazy route out right now by letting the map just make its own grass. Okay, so there's a couple spots that I missed up here, and then we'll take one look around the outside quickly just to see if this might be a situation where I don't want to get too greedy. I thought maybe if I kind of mowed a little closer to the walls, that might be good, but that would also mean that I'd have to be doing sort of up and down rows, and if I can try to avoid those as much as possible, I think that would be smart. I don't want to have to go fishing for bales. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I think I believe this is a larger field than the one we already had, but it's definitely an awkward field with this side hill. Kind of enjoying the sun coming up here too. It's very nice. Okay, we'll leave the gate open for a second here because we're just going to go pick up the windrow. Our friend there on Walter's Giant Field is a third of the way through, basically, so that's good news. They're cruising along out there. I think the weight must be working. I did pop over and look quickly, and I don't see any wheel spin. It's kind of like mildly hilly. It's not like it doesn't have anything extreme on it, so maybe it could have handled it anyways. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I think that weight might be paying off. All right, so we'll just jam the mower back in here because I don't think we're going to be doing any other mowing for the season unless somehow we're gifted a grass field that needs mowing. Ah, yes, windrow's in here, so I have to move that trailer. I must have run into it because it's kind of in a weird angle. Maybe I might not have to. Whoa, wrong pedal. Yeah, maybe if I just nudge it. Be cool if you could get one of those. Do you ever notice, like in I see them in like an RV dealer or whatever, or like a marina. They'll often have like a ball attachment that can go on the front of a tractor that to allow them to move things around without having to actually connect to them. It'd be cool if we had that here, because then I could just connect to this trailer and push it into the corner. Anyways, we're just using our bale, our pallet forks right now to do that job. Hope I didn't dent it. All right, well, this should be annoying. The amount of back and forth I'm gonna have to do here, I think, and the hill and everything, all while trying to keep things organized, should be a bit of a challenge, I think. Yeah, so I was thinking about a few things while I was usually while I'm doing off-camera work, and like in this case here, while I was mowing, I'll throw something on YouTube and watch. So it's the last of the free creator content packs for City Skylines 2 was launched today. It was a Eastern US pack that I don't know exactly where in the East it's supposed to replicate. I guess I should pay more attention to the content that I'm watching. But anyways, for the most part, what I'll do is I'll watch I'll watch content. So I was watching a guy named Infrastructurist. He's a really good content creator when it comes to City Skylines 2. So I was watching his video where he uses the new content pack to kind of update his city. So I'm not done the episode yet. I was just watching as I was doing the work, but so it's not. I definitely don't always just sit there and think about what my next move in this game is going to be. I like to try to numb my brain a little sometimes to handle the larger jobs. So that was what I was doing when I was mowing here. But I did have a moment to think about what the next steps would be here, and I think we're on a decent track, provided nothing pops up to surprise us. I don't know what could. There's always a plot twist around every corner, possibly, right? So I don't think that's going to include Pete coming back sooner. I'm pretty sure we're only going to see him in his in that sort of. If it was determined that he's going to be gone for a year, I think it's definitely going to be gone. He'll definitely be gone for a year. I know some people have expressed a hope that he's gone for more than a year, so we can continue playing on this. But yeah, we'll see. There's already at least one more map right now that I want to do something with. So that's really what's going to come down to is how quickly do I want to move to another series. I can't do like 5 different things. I have to kind of focus on maybe 2, unless we start finally try a live stream, and then maybe I can play a map on live stream all the time. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch the video I posted for Monteith, Iowa, and sort of my thoughts on some of the ways we could play that map. I've been back onto it 3 or 4 times since uploading that to sort of play around with a few things. Built out a couple versions of a farm, which is kind of one of my favorite things to do anyway. So I don't have any doing the research definitely isn't a problem. I enjoy it, but yeah, I'd really like to take a crack at playing on that map. I had a couple of people, and then somebody actually was kind enough to send me the link to the More Trees mod, I guess, which allows you to place more trees on your map. So I have that now. I don't know how many more trees, but I haven't tried planting anything yet. But I think it would make sense. What I'd like to do is purchase a small turnkey farming operation at that's affordable for us. It would require some kind of a financial obligation, like a loan that needs to get paid off, and then I like the idea of trying to buy back grandfather's old farm for what would need to be a couple $1 million. But unfortunately, when we came back to the area, we couldn't afford that, so we opted for the lesser pre-built or ready to turnkey operation that included a small tree farm and firewood. The Fireword production mode is pretty cool. I like it because I don't know if you had an opportunity to check it out, but I think it's pretty cool because it's not like super lucrative. I want to say that you get about $400 or $500 per 1,000 liters. The production's not super fast. The bags are actually pretty cool. So handling those is neat. It's just different, right? Anytime you got something different or new in the game is cool, and that's kind of what that represents for me. So I don't know. I think we'll probably end up trying to play on that. I know like Alma, Missouri's in for testing right now, so that might be a similar example to what I'm looking at on Monteith. But Alma would include, like a town and stuff, where the Monteith, Iowa, you sort of have to imagine that the town is close. I don't know how physically close Missouri and Iowa are, but there's a mod that allows you to, it's almost like a teleportation, I guess. It messes with the game saves and your vehicles. So if you place it on your map, you can essentially store your vehicle there, and then you can place that on, I have not tried it, but from what I gather, you can then go and place it on another map and then retrieve your, I guess it just saves the vehicle data in there. So you could essentially sort of retrieve your vehicle. So it would allow us to kind of like, I don't know, almost make it seem like we're going from one district to another, and if there was some business to be done or whatever, be kind of maybe kind of neat. So if you know, Alma and, I don't know whether Alma and Missouri and Iowa are close to each other. I'll have to look on a on the map. But if they were, then you know, you don't need the infrastructure on one map, because you can go back and forth, and you know, you want to go grab a coffee or something, then do it on the other map. So I don't know how many bales this will make, but we're kind of running out of room. I don't know that you know, as we continue to stack bales there, how much space we're going to want to take up in our shed. Probably more reason why I'd want to be able to wrap bales sooner than later, because then we can store those outside because they'll be wrapped. But we'll have to kind of watch that. I think once our guy's done there in the field with the cultivation, we'll probably wash that cedar cultivator thing and then get it up to Walter's shed up there in that upper field to store for the winter, just to get it out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. I don't really know what winters are like on the map as far as snow coverage and, you know, how long it stays on the ground and stuff, but yeah, I don't really want to have to worry about too much once the snow starts flying. I did early on run a bit of a test with the realistic weather mod and this map, and that was actually where I was convinced not to use the realistic weather mod right now, because the AI drivers would still drive on the road even though the snow was over. Like, it would have been hitting them in the forehead while they're sitting. Like, you could see when there was a car on the road, you could see just the very top of the roof of the car, and basically the snow was going right through the car, so you would see the driver with just the top of their head poking out of the snow as they drive. So I didn't look too great. And here's me, I had to run a snowblower just to be able to move 10 feet, and these guys are cruising, so opting not to do that. But so I don't know what the actual programmed weather is, winter is like in the map. So we're gonna find out though. All right, just got the last little bit here. It's actually been less cumbersome than I kind of anticipated. I thought this was going to be worse than what it's turned out to be, but the mowing was pretty smooth, and this putting these things in a row has been great. Obviously, we've got the guy. You know, we need that New Holland so we can run the baler, but because I don't want to make those tiny bales. We're basically gonna you know, mothball that mini baler now and run with the bigger bales. At least you know, Pete will have it here for when he comes back, and he'll have the new baler too if he wants. But whatever he wants to use, he can use. Let's just condense this this one row here a little bit. So I got a call from Jack while I was just getting the rest of this road up here, and yeah, he just wanted to let me know. He wanted to thank me and let me know how happy he was that he got a call from his George and Doreen there, and they were so proud of their new driveway and everything. The funny thing about that though, I asked Jack, I'm like, man, that was, I mean, obviously they got their their approval and everything, which is good. So they were able to get that stonework done, and he kind of said, "Oh no, they don't need an approval. We just got that done for them." Like, what the hell? So I got to jump through hoops and be worried about disobeying some kind of an ordinance, and they can just throw down stone or do whatever they want. Obviously, I guess that's the benefit of being family, right? But anyways, yeah, while he was in a good mood there, I did throw out a couple quick shots at him. I'll just keep this closed for now so nobody gets in there and bothers anything. So I mentioned to him about the stone wall there, and he kind of sounded a little pained, like, oh, the last thing we want to do is start altering the landscape. But he is willing to look at it and give it some consideration, so that's good. I'll formulate an official kind of request, and then he can take that to his team, and then they can see. But he said if he's got any opportunity to provide some positive influence, then he would. So I appreciate that. Actually, I think baler, trailer we're gonna need, windrow. Trying to think of what we might be able to kind of hide here, but there's nothing yet, so let's just dump this back in. I have a much easier time getting things out of the shed than I do putting them into the shed. Okay, well, you know what? Why don't we take a quick boot? So the baler, once we get our field baled up there, then we'll put that probably up by Walter's shed, and then we may keep the trailer down here, but yeah, we'll see what we do there. The main thing is the cultivator and I guess the baler, sure. But let's take a rip up and see how far the workers gotten there. I'd be curious to see, now that it's daylight, what that field actually looks like. 50 acres is no joke. Also, this hill is no joke. I wonder if they're going to need any fuel. This should look a lot different now that it's light outside. I don't think I ever actually looked at this field at all when it was light. Oh yeah, indeed. 50 acres is no joke. Wow. Well, you know what? With the headlands done and a bunch of the up and downs, this worker is 50% of the way. So I don't really want to go around as much. I kind of want to do a lap and see what the headlands look like, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the house. I got a bunch of paperwork that I need to get done, and then we'll see. Maybe this guy will be done by that time I'm done, and then we'll get those bales. We'll get those bales baled and picked up, so that way that is out of the way. But yeah, I'll just leave that open. Don't think there's going to be any problem. But yeah, anyways, it looks like they're cruising along, which is great. So yeah, let's do that. I'll go do some paperwork, drink some coffee, and then we'll reconvene here momentarily. All right, I just want to give this a quick rinse off. Our buddy is not done in the field over Walter's cultivation contract, but I did. So I was sitting there going through some paperwork, and I got a call from Walter. And this is what I like about this guy. He's always looking out for me now, I guess. He was talking to his buddies over at the store, who I guess Walter's got a bit of a share in that company anyways, of course. They have a sort of a grass patch next to their yard they were talking about. And Walter thought of me because basically they had asked Walter, do you have anybody that could maybe run a mower through it? So he called me. It doesn't pay anything, but what it does pay, I can take the grass off of it, actually. So I just want to get this cleaned up quickly here so we don't go over looking like a complete disaster. And I guess just when I thought the windrow and essentially the little mower there was done, we got some work to do. So mower's in here, right? So I don't know how much land there is, but he did say there's some opportunity there. So figure why not, right? I mean, if I can scam myself a bale wrapper, then that'll be just that much more. I can't remember how much. So these are, I don't know what size bales these are. 3,500. So these got I think bales are worth, once wrapped, they're worth about $500 or $600 a bale. Is my my general recollection on that fact. Yeah, so that's good news. It's nice knowing that there's somebody looking out for us. I like that quite a bit. So I did, when I left the field there after we were checking on the progress of our worker, I actually just I went right past the house and went right over to the store, and I grabbed the planter and that bag of seeds that we had kicking around. So and then I moved it right up to Walter's. I hate to call it a shed. It's more of just a covering there up in his field. Anyways, I didn't drop it off on our yard. I just dropped it right off up there. The seeds I still have at the yard, but I dropped the planter up there so we don't have it getting in our way over the winter time. Should be okay up there anyways. I'd like to get up there with the weed whacker and clean that up a little bit for Walter and also for ourselves, because there's a number of bushes and stuff there. Over the winter, if it gets windy or whatever, those bushes are just going to rub against the paint and prematurely wear out our equipment. I learned that. I remember I had a summer job working for a Ford dealer, and they had set up some promotional tents and things like that, and I can never forget, as I always check this now, there was one of the vinyl flaps of one of the tents was basically right up against the hood of a Ford Explorer. And anyways, we had a bunch of wind over the weekend, and the constant waving or whatever of this flap wore the paint right off the fender of this truck. Like, man, now maybe paint was worse back then, but holy crap. So now I always make sure never to be anywhere close to anything that's going to potentially do that to me. All right, so he said to deke in around the neighboring, he said come up the driveway, and then you'll see it juts out to the left here. So yeah, so let's pop up here. That must be the grass I see up ahead. Yeah, he said it's not a huge area, but it's, we'd be doing them a favor by getting it mowed, and then we could have it. So, yeah, okay, good. So he said we can't go back too far. And not to go down there, apparently. He said not to go too far off to this side here, just to kind of stick with this kind of rectangular shape here. So, maybe we'll scam our way a little bit over here, but now we are on the edge of the map here, so it gets a little squirrely as far as camera collisions. Yeah, so this is good. And incredibly, we are 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's already getting dark here again. So what the hell? Oh my God, you just can't win, can we? We started this episode off in the dark, and we're going to end up finishing in the dark, which is also partly why I'm not too disappointed if we end up, essentially skipping through the winter months, because if it's this bad right now, what's it going to be like in January and February? It's going to be brutal. I'm not going to go right to the edges. I don't want to get too greedy and create more problems for myself. But yeah, I don't really want to do anything when it's pitch black. So over those winter months, I think if anything interesting happens, then we'll figure out a way to record it and share. But I just can't even see that that's gonna. I mean, we just did that over on New Frontier. I'm basically going to. I haven't recorded the episode yet, but we're deked out in, I want to say in like December, and then kind of like this maybe. It was December, and I think we're reconvening in March when it's like planting season. These maps just get so dark. There was a Finn map. I remember Crustu did a series on it. I played it, but I never recorded any content. I can't remember the name of it anyways. It was a Finn map, wilderness map, really nice map, but it got so dark. I believe the winter months it didn't get light, I think was the whole deal there. I think it just stayed dark. There is a bunch of grass on that side we could mow, but I just want to stay away from the map edge. Yeah, we should get a number of bales off of this, and God, I mean, I've got $60,000 in the bank still right now. We're gonna get 70 grand when it comes time to collect for the contract that our worker's doing right now, who's 3/4 of the way done. So that would put us at about $130,000, give or take. I am going to put a chunk of that onto the loan, so we are putting a bit of a dent in there for old Pete. But I'm wondering if maybe I can find... I don't want to buy anything new, that's the hard part. And bale wrappers are so dang expensive, but like I wonder if I could scoop myself a bale wrapper. Because it'd be nice to have that silage fermenting over the winter and then in the spring be able to sell it and make some money. I don't know when the high months are for silage, but... Probably it could be the spring, maybe. Man, I got all that mowing done. That was tedious. I can't wait to use the bigger mowers. And now we're just in the process of getting everything into rows. And it looks like we're just about done our cultivation contract too, which is great. Unfortunately, I am not set up well here to run both tractors at the same time. I probably could have set this up as a temporary field and then used Courseplay to put this stuff into rows, but I didn't. So that means I'm doing this work and then I'm going to do the baling work after that. So that being said, I'm going to probably... so one thing that I noticed here, let's just see if I can get a spot here where we got a straightaway and then I can show you what I just noticed in the store. It's not overly exciting, but it's something that'll help us anyways come springtime. More seeds. So instead of spending about $1,900 on 1,000 liters of fertilizer, we're in for $627. So that's the kind of savings that are going to help us. That's like $1,000 that we're saving there, which is killer. The guys, it was kind of nice. One of the guys at the store, apparently they had a used windrow there. He was asking if I wanted to borrow it to run these fields. I just said, it's okay, man. I'll just use this for now, but it was a nice offer. I will probably hit them up at some point for something a little more substantial, just in that this thing takes some time. It takes a lot of time. When you're doubling the rows up, like when I kind of go back and forth and it effectively doubles the working width at least, but still takes me just a long time to do, but at least it helps me cover some area. So anyways, I'm gonna keep firing away and get this done. We're trying not to keep this episode too long, if you know what I'm saying, and I'd like to get some baling done also in this episode, so bear with me, and we'll meet again in a moment. All right, the Landini is perhaps done for the day, I think. On my way now to... So our worker has stopped working. There's still 2% left in the contract. So my guess is that there's a corner or some section that did not get covered. I thought I cut somebody off. That did not get covered in what I had set up on the course. So we're going to go take a look at that right now, get that done, collect, and then we have, basically we have baling to do. The field we just cut and put in rows, it's not a contract, so if it did run into the next day, the next episode, whatever, those rows, I believe, aren't going to disappear. I think that's going to still remain, unlike a contract where once you accept, the field reverts or converts to some other state, where if you mow a field, like for example, and then accept a contract, then it goes to like another state. Anyways, all that mowed grass disappears. So, but not like I think what we just did next to the store. I think we should be okay there. But anyways, so right now I'm gonna go throw this Landini back in the yard, and then we'll hoof it up to see what's going on in that the big field there. We'll get a actually it's kind of good because we'll get a chance to see how the tractor's behaving with the cultivator and that weight, because remember the thought was that putting the weight from the Landini here on the front of the New Holland would help gain some traction. So let me go dump this, and then we'll see you in the field over there. All right, bit of a run, but we're here. Ooh, this thing's in need of some servicing. All right, so I don't know where this person would have missed, but let's do a quick lap of this massive field. Holy mackerel. So we started this, like I set the worker out here when it was dark. Was it around 8:30? I mean, I have messed around with the time a little bit here and there, but it took a long time to get this done. Like a long time. Anyways, let's see. They've obviously missed something big enough that 2% of the field is not completed. I don't think it's just a small amount. There's got to be obviously a big enough piece. Looks like maybe down here. Because this can't be 2%. So anyways, it's going to be this plus something else, obviously. Oh, that was it. Holy crap, that gave me 2%. Okay. It says now contract finished. All right, so I would like to get this washed up before I put it into the shed over there at Walters. Yeah, man, I just want to go jam this thing and put it away so bad that, that maybe I'll just do that. I can't believe the size of this field. So yeah, I guess in the end I decided we'll bring this down at the yard. We'll do the right thing. I was so tempted just to go jam this into that shed and forget about it until spring, but we'll go bring it down here, and then we'll get it cleaned up before we put it away. That'd be the right thing to do. That means just getting it in and out of this gate one more time. Ah, no problem. Alright, so if I spin it around here, move the Landini. Actually, you know what? I'm not hosing it off right now. Let's just leave this here. We'll grab the baler. I'd like to get the baling addressed before it gets dark. Man, a farmer's work is never done. There's so many more things I could do still, but anyways, yeah. So I think we'll at least get the baling started, and then I'll have to get that stuff gathered up after. I don't know. So much work, man. So much work. Anyways, we got lots to talk about while we're baling. So let's just get over there and get her started. All right, we're cruising now. I'll be curious to see. Well, I think I have the mod on that slows and then eventually stops the baler when you're full. So we're going to see if that's actually the case or not here in a second. And then I'll also be curious to see how fast we go through this netting. Okay, yes, thank God. This mod is a lifesaver. If you don't have it, let me know and I'll find out the name of it and let you know. But like, basically, I just have cruise control on and I don't have to stop and let the bale. I don't have to keep track of the bale basically, and then stop. Because if without it, you just keep driving, and then you have to back up, which is not fun. I mean, ultimately, a square baler is the best because you don't even have to stop; it just dumps out the back. But I mean, this is probably the next best thing is not having to pay attention, because I can't. No matter, you can put all the bells and whistles and warnings and everything, but I won't see or hear that. I'll just keep on motoring and not even realize. So the bale, so I set the bales to 150 centimeters. I think, what are they, 5,500 liters? Yeah. And then I've got automatic drop set. So I reset the bale count, or I didn't have to reset the bale counter. It wasn't set anyways. So we started from 0. So we'll see how many bales we get out of this field as a as a gift, really, from Walter. I mean, that was kind of nice of him, but I guess we've been pretty good to him too. So, and then, yeah, I mean, these are gift bales, and other than the time we had to put in to get them, and then we've got our new field there too. So we'll be able to see what we get out of each of those. I'm really worried about that field and trying to work it without dropping bales into the creek, but we'll deal with that here. I just have to be more careful. I think what I'll do on that one is turn off automatic drop, and every time I get a bale, I'll just make sure I'm facing the right direction. It's pretty good though for almost at our third bale. We should be able to get ourselves a substantial amount of bales off of here. Now we've got the Landini and we've got the bale trailer, so that's good. We'll have to load them all up onto that, and then it would be really good if we can find a. It would be really good if we could find a bale wrapper. So I'll also maybe point out. So while I was putting the grass here into rows, I jumped on that fertilizer bag that I mentioned. But something I must have screwed something up, because I didn't notice, but I spent $2,500, not $800. So I don't know what I've got sitting over there. I'm assuming that I just have one bag. I think maybe what happened is it was there might have been like 2 bags for the price of one, is my guess. I don't know. And somehow I elected to only take one bag, which then changed the pricing. I don't know what I did. So when I do get a chance to look back at the footage, I'll know quickly what happened. And then if I have to make an adjustment one way or the other, I will. But yeah, it ended up being, for some reason, I spent $2,500. I basically just hit purchase, and then I didn't realize, but there was some calculation at the bottom, which whatever. I'll make it right by my for me, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. So this episode here, and maybe you can tell me what you think. I feel like this is more in the spirit of what this series is to be. We did we did one contract in regards to cultivation. We didn't try to jam 2 or 3 in by slowing time down to like half a speed or whatever. So I think that's much more attainable. Now, granted, it was a $70,000 contract, so I'm not complaining. I got to accept it here still from Walter, but it's $70,000, so that's not bad. But anyways, we did spend some money on some equipment too, like this baler. This is fantastic. This is what we needed, something like this, right? Yeah, and unfortunately we're going dark here, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so we'll be finishing the day up in the dark. So being that we now have these bales sitting here, and the fact that I've already been recording for a pretty substantial amount of time, my guess is that I've already got more than enough stuff for an episode. And my initial plan was to basically jump through after this to the spring. We may end up with a January episode after all. I know there's a few things that we can do. Bale wrapping and collection could definitely be one of them. I really want to wrap these bales. So if I can wrap them in the field, then put them on the trailer, that's probably even better. So I don't think it's going to end up meaning that we're going to buy a new bale wrapper, but oh God, I mean, it would just be such a shame not to wrap these. Now, I guess in the end, if we had to pick them up and store them as grass and then watch for a bale wrapper over the winter, then I guess we could do that, but I just don't know how many months these take to ferment. So I'd like to get them fermenting, but I guess we're sort of throwing money away, I guess, if we buy something new, but I don't know, we'll see what happens anyways. But that being said, we should probably check the store here and see if anything new has popped into it. No. A roller. Interesting. We could use a roller. Oh, almost 71,000 just hit our bank, so we've got money from Walter. That's cool. Holy crap. So $135,000. Really what I have to figure out is how do I wrap the bales and then how much do I pay to the loan? I mean, if I could get 50 grand paid down on the loan, leave ourselves with 80, have money for a bale wrapper. Like, I think, what's the most basic bale wrapper? Yeah, probably this one here at $16,000. So, okay, well, that's interesting. I hadn't really considered that there was such an inexpensive option at 16 grand. So, yeah, we may, that may be the next episode then. We may be probably wrapping in the field and then transporting and storing. I don't know where we're going to stash them all. I mean, I also wonder if, well, I guess once we get our grass, so even the new property or one of our other pieces of land there, we have lots of room to stash the bales once they're wrapped, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, so anyways, that's kind of what's going on here at on Uncle Pete's farm. We got a bit of a gift today, I think, from Walter with this field here. We're like 13 bales so far, and again, I want to say it's about $500. So it's like I think it's like $200 per 1,000 liters. It should be right around here. Yeah, silage. Sorry, 120. So 5,000 liter bale would be almost, yeah, a little over $500, I guess. $500 or $600. So, I mean, we'll get thousands of dollars worth of silage bales off of this field. We'll get enough silage bales off of this field to pay for that $16,000 bale wrapper, and then that means that the bales we got off our own field that we purchased today are like gravy. Plus we have those 8 grass bales that are sitting in the shed. So yeah, we'll be in good shape actually. I think that's good. So anyways, yeah, that's where we're at right now. I want you to weigh in on that stone wall. Again, I did talk to Jack. He's working on it for us. What do you think? Are you cool with us taking that stone wall out? But other than that, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate all your support as usual, and we'll see you in the next one.